He's the guy that other men at church look up to. Your friends tell you that you're lucky. Your mother thinks he's great. And your pastor has never heard a negative word against him. And you, the woman who lives with him, you're quietly unraveling. You can't sleep well. You've stopped confiding in people because you know how it sounds. You've started to wonder if the problem is you, if there's something fundamentally wrong with you that makes you unable to appreciate a man that everybody else can see as a good man. So let me say something really clearly before we go any further. The gap between who your husband is in public and who he is in private, that gap is not in your imagination, and it's not your bitterness. It's evidence. And today I'm going to show you exactly what that evidence points to and why the most dangerous kind of man with narcissistic traits is not the loud, obvious one. It's the quiet one. The one that nobody sees coming. The one nobody believes when you finally try to describe him. If this is already resonating, if you felt something shift when I described that gap, I want you to know there's a community of women who know exactly what you mean without you having to explain yourself. It's called the Detox Your Marriage community, and the link is down below in the description. There's also a link to book a short consultation call with me directly. Both are in the description down below. And if this channel is new to you, please like this video and subscribe to the channel, because this is where we go deep on things that nobody else is saying. So let's get into what covert narcissism actually is. When most people hear the word narcissist, they picture a very specific type. A guy that's loud and arrogant. He walks into a room and immediately makes it about himself. Grand gestures, big ego, hard to miss. The covert narcissist is nothing like that. He's quiet, often soft-spoken. He presents as humble, sometimes even kind of wounded victim. He is the one who seems to carry a quiet sadness, a depth that drew you in, maybe. And he might be deeply religious and kind of use spiritual language. He's attentive to how he is perceived, and he works carefully to ensure that perception is positive. But here's the thing, underneath that presentation, the same core dynamic is operating. Everything is about him. His needs are the ones that matter. His feelings are the ones that shape the atmosphere of the home. And his interpretation of events is the correct one, and woe to somebody who disagrees. And your role, though it will never be stated this plainly, is to exist in service of that reality. You see, the difference between the overt and the covert narcissist is not the presence of narcissism, it's the packaging. And the covert package is designed specifically to be undetectable, especially in communities where humility, service, and long-suffering are held up as virtues. He is excelling at that. Here's 3 signs that are hiding in plain sight, and like they say, when you see them, you can't unsee them. I want to give you the 3 specific signs of covert narcissism. They're easy to miss, and they're easy to dismiss too. So the first is this martyrdom as control. He doesn't demand, he suffers. He sighs, he sacrifices loudly with an audience always. And the implicit message that he conveys is, he sacrifices loudly with an audience, always with the implicit message that he is not appreciated. I do everything for this family and no one notices. The martyrdom creates guilt in you, right? It has an effect. And the guilt creates compliance in you, which is exactly what it was designed to do. So this is control without a raised voice. That's the first sign. The second sign is selective empathy. In public, or when there's something to be gained, he can be extraordinarily warm and attentive. But when you need him, like when you are struggling or frightened or hurting, he's strangely absent. Or he turns the conversation back to himself as the star. See, real empathy is consistent. His empathy is performed. The third sign is about the silent punishment, right? Again, he doesn't shout, he withdraws, he goes cold. The warmth disappears, the eye contact stops, the easy conversation vanishes, and you feel it as a physical thing. And so you do what you have learned to do. You soften, you give in, you apologize. And you end up working to earn the warmth back. That cycle is not a communication pattern, it's a control system. And here's why it's so hard to name, why it's so covert. And what makes it particularly cruel for women in, good women in, good-looking marriages. You see, every behavior I just described has a socially acceptable version that looks almost identical from the outside, right? Martyrdom looks like sacrifice. Selective empathy looks like introversion or emotional unavailability. Silent withdrawal looks like a man that needs to process, and he needs space. And so your friends, family, your community has, without meaning to, handed him a set of explanations for every red flag that you sense. And you, because you are a woman of faith, because you believe in grace, because you genuinely want to see the best in people, you've accepted those explanations over and over, maybe for years. Now, I'm not here to tell you that your grace was wrong or a mistake, but I am here to tell you that it has been taken advantage of, and that naming what is actually happening is not unspiritual. In fact, it's an act of profound courage and honesty. Stay to the end, at the end of this video, because I want to tell you the one question that cuts through all of the confusion about covert narcissism, the one question that tells you more than a checklist ever could. So stay to the end. Here's the question. When you're struggling, when you are genuinely hurting, does being with your husband make you feel more held or more alone? That's it. That's the question. You can answer it yourself. Because a man can be imperfect, emotionally limited, not great with words, awkward in a crisis, all those things, and still be, in his imperfect way, be trying to be present for you. Right? You feel his attempt, however clumsy. But a covert narcissist, on the other hand, in those same moments, your moments of genuine need, somehow turns it so it's about him and not you. Or he disappears, or he offers something that looks like comfort but carries a quiet accusation that your pain is an inconvenience to me. And of course you feel that too. So trust what you feel. It's valuable information. It has always been information. If you recognized your marriage in what I described today, I want to offer you a couple of things. Definitely like this video and subscribe to this channel. And know that we work with professional, accomplished women who are exactly where you are. Women who have spent years trying to name something that everyone around them insists isn't there. In our private coaching and in our Detox Your Marriage community, and in a book that I have on Amazon, I am building the most specific, honest, and faith-informed resource available for women navigating this. It's called the RSVP Protocol. Reclaim your life, your voice, and yourself without leaving your marriage. The covert narcissist thrives precisely because his wife has slowly lost access to her own voice and her own reality. The RSV protocol is designed to give both of those back, systematically, from the inside out. If you are ready to have a real conversation about your specific situation, there's a link down below for a free kind of a consultation call. 15, maximum 20 minutes, no cost, no strings attached. And what we do there is I'll listen to your situation, your unique situation, and map out what change would look like if you're ready. But I want you to know you're not imagining what's going on. I believe you. And I want you to know that there's a way through. We have helped many women walk that path. And if you're ready, we can help you. All right. I'll see you in the next video.